Hi, this is Jon Southurst reporting for Bitsonline.com, and I'm at the Satoshi's Vision conference in Tokyo, and today I'm speaking to Andrew Stone, who's the lead developer for Bitcoin Unlimited. Now, Bitcoin Unlimited is a full node client for Bitcoin Cash, but could you explain a little bit about how it fits in with the other full node clients?
Well, effectively, anyone can run a full node, and the full node clients sort of compete a little bit for hash power and users, and at the same time we cooperate to make Bitcoin Cash successful.
It's a little bit different to the way Bitcoin BTC works, because you've got Bitcoin Core, and basically there's nothing else competing with it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. And in Bitcoin Cash, our philosophy is that having a larger number of full nodes is better. Basically, there's kind of two extremes. If you only have one implementation, then it's less likely that you're going to have a network problem until that implementation fails, and then at that point, your whole network can go down. Whereas if you have many implementations, the failure of just one would barely affect the network at all. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Yet if you have many implementations, it's a little bit more likely that those implementations may come out of sync, which then affects the network.
It does, yeah. So what percentage does BU have, Bitcoin Unlimited?
We have about 30 to 40% of the nodes, and as less than half of the miners. I'm not sure what the number is.
Okay. I think
so ABC is currently has the majority nodes.
Yeah, in a way, I think with Bitcoin, the focus is too much on the core developers. It's like there's some Jedi Council of supreme leaders that everyone must consult and revere.
Yeah. So when I was originally considering contributing to Bitcoin, I kind of looked at the interactions going on in different pull requests and thought that this was not a very healthy environment in the Bitcoin core development.
Okay, so you also spoke at the Future of Bitcoin conference last June, I think it was, in Netherlands, and at that stage, the fork hadn't happened yet, and everything you were talking about was mainly theoretical. So what do you think has changed between then and now?
Yeah, it's actually great that right now we're talking about changes that are really going to go into Bitcoin Cash, and arguing about what's the best change and what the schedule should be. So everyone is energized to make positive and awesome changes to the protocol, as opposed to last year where we were talking more about how can we work around the roadblocks put in by the 1 megabyte block size, the lack of an ability to hard fork. How can we create extension blocks and all kinds of other technologies to just work around these artificially created issues.
Right. In June, did you guys have any idea that a fork would actually happen, or was it still just a pie in the sky idea or a proposal?
No. So at May 10th, I think the first BUIP 55 proposed the fork that became Bitcoin Cash, and it had been voted as to happen a few weeks later. So by Arnhem we were essentially positive that it was going to happen. The question was what would the traction be? Would we have would the price of Bitcoin Cash be 1% of Bitcoin, 100%, or 10% as it is? So I feel like 10% is just a great base to start on. I'm very happy with how Bitcoin Cash is done in the market, actually.
Right. And do you think conferences like this one are useful?
Absolutely. Lets everyone get together. It creates buzz about the currency. It lets people know that intense development is happening, changes that are coming down.
Yeah. All right, now, speaking about development, your talk today was on SPV Wallets for phones for Bitcoin Cash.
Yes.
So what's the latest with that?
Well, Obviously, I think adoption is very important in Bitcoin Cash right now. We have the capacity to handle a lot more transactions. Now we need to encourage people to use the currency. SPV wallets, of course, exist. What I was proposing was something called Op Data Sig Verify, which lets you bring oracles into Bitcoin. It kind of allows the scripting language to, be brought in to run different scripts, and effectively. The one use case is like peer-to-peer betting. So my thoughts are you'll be able to go down to a bar and you and your friend are watching, a sports game and you make a bet, right? And typically when you do that, he doesn't pay up, right? But with Bitcoin Cash, we can tap our phones together and make a, bet that once one person wins the game, it just automatically settles.
Yeah. I see a lot of gambling applications for Bitcoin Cash. Are they going to focus on that, or is that just a useful thing?
Yeah, so, it's finance, right? And to some degree, all finance is gambling. It's investment when you wear a suit, and it's gambling when you're at the bar, right? So there are obviously lots of uses. Making a fun bet with your friends, like in a bar, seems to me like a very good peer-to-peer use case. We don't have to get payment processors involved and all this stuff. So I was hoping that something like that, while ultimately it would be a very small percent of the use of, like Bitcoin Cash cryptocurrency, it could begin to start turn the vicious cycle of users and merchants not supporting Bitcoin Cash into a virtuous cycle where all of a sudden lots of users have Bitcoin Cash wallets because they might be, doing, some things on a peer-to-peer basis.
Yeah, well, I mean, you need some way of getting people to actually use it, because at the moment, even with Bitcoin Cash, I feel people are just holding it, hoping that it will go up.
To some degree, and so I'm trying to trigger, greater adoption and more use cases, and this. 5 years from now, doing peer-to-peer betting might be just a tiny fraction of the use case, right? But right now, it could be huge, because right now the use cases are low. So now is the time to do something like this.
Oh, I think it's a perfectly good application, actually. So is Bitcoin Unlimited working on an SPV wallet?
No, we are not right now.
Who is?
There are a lot of SPV wallets out. I wouldn't want to suggest any one. And what I'm hoping to do is work with existing SPV wallets to, implement these kind of features.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So SPV wallets contact Bitcoin Unlimited's full node and other full nodes to gain their information, right? So we need to work with them to provide the information efficiently, and so that's how I'm kind of involved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I was just thinking one of the big issues I always have with SPV wallets is they sometimes take a long time to update every time I open it. Is that a problem that can be overcome?
Yeah. So, hate to say something bad about full nodes, my own software, but right now I don't think that the integration with SPV wallets and full nodes is as good as it could be. So one of the efforts that I want to work on is adding different, possibilities to do database lookups for data and more efficiently provide the information that SPV wallets need. And that would give a lot of people say, other than mining, full nodes have no use. Well, actually, one huge use is presenting the essential information to the wallets, right? So we need to make that use case very valuable so that more Bitcoin Unlimited full nodes are run.
Okay. Was the talk well received today?
I think so.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Well, that's probably all we need. So could you just tell anyone who's interested where they can get more info on it?
Oh, sure. So Bitcoin Unlimited is in www.bitcoinunlimited.info. And from there, you can jump off to look at our GitHub repository, which has the proposals, updated SIG Verify and op group. And of course, if you just want to download and run the software, which would be highly appreciated, then it's all right there in the download page.